Okay, so these are the instructions for the garden watering. So there's the back door. There are 3 locks. So the key lock we undo. Then there's these locks, one of which is down here. And that turns that way. That's it. And this one turns. Where are we? There we are. That way. So that's right. Open the door. And then we need to put this snake in the door because the door can shut and get jammed. So make sure the snake is there to stop the door shutting you out. Then, now here's the irrigation. This is the garden. There's an irrigation tap here. You can see it behind the leaves. When it's horizontal, it's off. And when it's lined up with the pipe, it's on. So it's a 90-degree turn. That's on. That's off. If we can leave it off when we're not using it, but that's the main tap that we should turn on. We're going to go down the stairs. This is a bit complicated. Now we've got a couple of taps here. So there's one for the watering can, same type of tap. So you turn it on like that, off. So off is across the pipe, on is along the pipe. So we're going to turn this one on. This feeds the left side of the garden. Now just worry about, I'm going to put this in here. This is now we're going to water the trough and just leave that in there. I'm going to leave that there. You've got a tap down here for that. In behind this bamboo, there's one of the same types of tap which you turn on. That'll start to make that water. This one here, again you've got another main tap. Now I'm going to leave this main tap on, so the only tap that's on down there, but you then need to turn this one on. These little taps, there's 2 types. There are these which are 90 degrees again, and there's like an arrow, and when the arrow's pointing across, it's off, and when you point the arrow along the direction of the pipe, it's on, and that's now feeding that one. Now, so these 2 are now feeding, and then we've got some more troughs up there on the wall. I'm going to turn these off now because these are lower. These feeders are lower than those. If these are on, when you turn those on, those won't work because they're much higher. So there's no pressure, so we have to turn these off when we want to water the upper one. And you'll see once they start dripping from the bottom of the trough, obviously then they're full. These, a bit more complicated. So we've got 3 hanging troughs with 3 separate pipes. Again, we got those taps, little taps. As long as that tap is on up there, this will now feed. So you turn this one on for the top one. Again, when it probably takes 3 or 4 minutes maybe to fill, and it will start dripping here when it's full. So, and then you turn that one off, and then you turn this one on. Again, you have to have one at a time, otherwise the pressure won't reach the upper ones if the lower ones are switched on. So there's that one on, and then finally down here there's another tap which is behind this geranium. Same type of tap, just turn that on and that will feed that one. And again, turn them all off when they've done. Let's talk about that side later. So that's this side. I wouldn't worry about watering the hydrangea. If you can, you could use, just rather than make it complicated with all the pipes, just water these lower parts with the watering can. Brilliant, thank you, etc. Now, so that's taking care of the left side. So all the lower stuff, we can just use the watering can. Turn that back off. Turn this one down here on the right of the stairs. Tucked in there, there's another one. Again, it turns so it's parallel to the pipe. These taps are slightly different. Rather than 90-degree angles, they're more like a kind of common kitchen tap that you have to unscrew, maybe a couple of one turn, 1.5 turns. Then obviously you can see the water coming out. So that's for these bamboos. This only needs to be done probably once, say Wednesday or Thursday. We've got another bit of a tap here again. This only needs to run maybe for a few minutes, depending how hot it's been. Again, that's a screw tap rather than a 90-degree tap. Again, these lower ones, if you could just water these with watering can, maybe just stick these fig. There's a couple of small troughs there. Again, just use the watering can. There's another tap. There's a 90-degree large tap here for these troughs and pots. Down here, underneath this grass, just by this yucca down there, is the tap. That's this, and then finally, again, if you can water these potatoes and the geraniums, these lower pots, if they could all be done with a watering can. And finally, the back bed is one of the bigger taps with a 90-degree turn. So maybe leave that on. I'm going to fill the butt up, so there should be plenty of water. I think one session will be enough. As I say, Wednesday or Thursday. Again, after that's run, maybe 10 minutes for the back bed. Turn it off. There's a loose tile there, so don't break your neck. I'll take that off. So there's the bird who eats the worms. So then we come back here and we can turn this off. They're turned off. You can use this one here to fill the watering can. It's just like a tap. Then when we finish doing all of the watering, we're going to go back up the stairs and then we're going to turn this big one off. And that's it really. And then just please make sure the door is locked. I'm sure you will. So you can maybe push it with your hip a bit. So again, lock, 2, 3, lock. So you're very secure. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Oh, and that little pot maybe water the things that are just outside the door, the herbs. Thank you very much.